Well, I have no idea what 100 yards looks like to you folks at home watching television. But from where I am standing, shooting at a target this size, with a projectile this small, using the iron sights on a spring-powered air gun in the offhand position, things look really challenging. American Airgunner is sponsored by Pyramid Air. Airguns are not just for kids anymore. Umarex, your premium airgun supplier. And these fine sponsors. Hi there folks, and welcome back to American Airgunner. My name is Paul Capello. For today's episode, we'll be taking a look at long-range accuracy shooting with spring-powered airguns. You know, we've shown you a lot of scoped rifles on the show before, but I happen to be a big fan of using open sights. It poses the greatest challenge, especially with spring-powered airguns. We are 100 yards downrange. I've got some targets set up here. We have a rabbit field target with an 1.5-inch kill zone and some metallic animal silhouettes that get progressively smaller. Now I've already sighted in this 22 caliber RWS 350 Magnum. Here's my target over here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots, 2 in the kill zone. I think this gun is pretty much sighted in, but the trick, folks, we're not going to be rested at a bench. We're going to be shooting offhand. Seems like we have off and on rain showers here, but it's nice and calm. I'm going to get underneath the shelter, see if I can make this first shot. All right, let's see what we can do. It took me a couple of shots to knock this target over, but it just goes to prove that a fine German Springer like this RWS 350 Magnum is capable of hitting an 1.5-inch target at 100 yards offhand with iron sights. Now, I think the rest of these silhouette targets are standing a little bit too pretty for me. Let me go ahead and knock those over too. Okay, I'm ready for some more long-range accuracy shooting with spring-powered air guns. This time, a 22 caliber RWS Model 48. This is a side lever air rifle. But before I go ahead and do that, this needs some modifications. If you take a close look at the front blade, it's awfully thick, and that's not going to be good for shooting targets out to 100 yards. So what I'm going to do is file that down to a point. This way I get better accuracy downrange. Let me go ahead and do that, then we'll do some shooting. Okay, let me go ahead and take that front blade sight off, and we'll file it down. See how hard this metal is. Not so bad. Where can I put this? Right here, probably. The metal's pretty soft, that's for sure. Okay, I realized after I took the front sight off, I had nothing to clamp it to, so I just put it back on the dovetail. This is so much easier. Almost got the point I want there. I'll go ahead and paint this front blade sight later on, but for now I'm just going to use this marker to make it black so I can see my target easier.
a legend in innovation and tradition. These classical and modern masterpieces have sent pellets downrange for over 3 decades. German engineered to last a lifetime. Quality, power, precision. RWS, the world's finest air rifles.
The Ruger Explorer is a modern-day youth air rifle that's ready to zing a pellet at speeds of up to 495 feet per second after just one stroke of its single-shot break barrel mechanism. Its cool-looking features, like the ambidextrous vented cheek piece, fiber optic sights, and rugged composite thumbhole stock, are appealing to youth. But the Ruger Explorer has more than just good looks. The Ruger Explorer, a youth pellet rifle ready to make an impact.
Well, okay, I've got the modified front sight on this RWS Model 48. Got my target set out to 100 yards. I think I'll try for the rabbit field target first. I'm not gonna get it on the first try, or the second try, or the third try. But if I can hit metal, I'll at least know where I am and adjust my shots accordingly. And there goes the field target. I guess I'll try for the animal silhouettes now, see if I can knock a couple of those down. Okay, I have to say modifying that front post did make all the difference downrange with my accuracy. Now, in case you haven't noticed, Crystal isn't here with me today. She graduated college back in December, and this week she's at her commencement celebrations. Congratulations to you, Crystal. She did have a chance, though, to meet with a very special guest a couple of weeks ago. Let me go ahead and roll that tape for you, and when we come back, we'll find out if weighing and sorting your pellets makes a big difference downrange on paper targets.
Some of you may have noticed that even though I shoot with my right hand, I aim with my left eye. Well, lucky for me, last week I had the chance to meet with an NRA certified instructor who gave me some tips on how to become a better left eye dominant shooter. Let's check it out. Hello everyone, today we have a very special guest with us. Chris, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, my name is Chris Landell. I'm a certified pistol instructor with the NRA, and I'm also a licensed master falconer with both the federal government and the New York State government.
Very cool, we're very happy to have you with us.
Thank you.
Now in season 1, I had the opportunity to do an eye dominance test with Tom Gaylord. We discovered that I was left eye dominant, but you have a couple of tests?
Yep, I have 2 tests. One is going to involve pointing,
Okay.
and the other one is going to involve making a small hole. And what you're going to do, the first test, if you want to pick an object in the horizon
Okay.
and point at it.
Yep.
Now you're going to want to close your right eye. Now what does it do?
Nothing.
All right, so you're going to be left eye dominant. And like I said, we're going to confirm that same thing. Pick the same point,
Okay.
make the small hole, and then bring it back. So
It's a
kinda
little different for me.
towards the middle. So it's almost like you're cross-eye dominant. You have a little bit of left eye dominance, but you're predominantly left eye dominant. So you're going to be shooting a little bit different. You're going to shoot with your left hand, and that's going to really alleviate some of the problems you're going to have by being cross-eye dominant, being that you're right-handed and left eye dominant.
Okay. Now, Chris, we've laid out a few of our own air gun pistols, but I noticed that you brought your own gun today.
I did. This is a Springfield XD 9mm.
Okay.
It's an actual firearm. It's a center fire firearm. The reason I brought it, though, is I want to make the point that the safety procedures that you're going to follow with an actual firearm are the same procedures you're going to follow with an air gun. So everything is going to apply to the air guns that applies to the actual handguns.
All right. And do you want to show me the grip with the firearm?
Yes, I do. Being that we talked that you're left eye dominant and right-handed, you're going to follow a few different procedures. Like I said, you want to shoot almost left-handed.
Okay.
So the way you're going to do that is normal grip is I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold a firearm like this. You're going to roll it over, and everything is going to be basically a mirror copy, just reversed.
Okay.
So when you're holding the handgun like this, you're going to stack your hands, index your finger. Depending on the size of your finger, you may not be able to reach the front of the trigger guard. So just wrap it around, and then you're going to stack your left thumb on top of your right thumb.
Okay.
And then when you aim, you're going to want the firearm square with your hand. So it's going to line up with your left eye. When you're left eye dominant and right-handed, you have to lean your head over your arms. So that's going to add a few extra steps. So to take them out, we want to have you shoot left-handed.
Okay.
So if you want to give that a try,
All right.
now bring it right into your left hand.
Typically I'm here, so
Yep.
I'm shifting
Roll it right over.
Okay.
Now bring your right hand, stack your fingers. Now stack your thumb on top of your right hand. Yep.
Just like this?
Yep.
Okay, and you mentioned to never cross your thumbs in the back?
Correct. What that's going to do is, the way a firearm works, the slide is going to come back to eject a spent casing from the action of the pistol. When you're shooting, if your thumbs are crossed in the back, that slide is going to come back and it'll actually cut your hand.
Okay, and typically when I'm shooting an air gun, I usually put my weight on one hip, and with this it's almost pulling me centered. Is that right?
That's what it's going to do.
Okay.
You want to keep your feet shoulder width apart.
Yep.
You're going to be squatting down a little bit, and you're going to be leaning into your shot. So when you extend your arms, you want them extended right in front of you, and you want to reach out.
Okay.
So everything is going to go directly in front of you.
All right, and I almost noticed that it's tight in my lower back, leaning
you
forward.
want it tight. Everything, imagine a stick going across the back of your shoulders. And you just want to kind of lean in, keep everything straight. The frame of the pistol should come all the way back to your left eye.
All right, great. And sometimes when I'm shooting an air gun, I also typically would close one eye. Does that make a difference when I'm shooting?
It does, actually. The reason is, when you're using your both of your eyes, what's going to happen is they're both going to take in light. By using just one, you're not getting as much light, and your sight picture may be diminished.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Ma. I'm busy. I drank all the soda. I was thirsty. Hey, wait, Ma. Can you do me a favor? Can you pick up some more soda? Okay, thanks. Awesome.
Air Force Air Guns. Serious air guns for the serious shooter.
Ow, ow, ow.
American-made Benjamin pre-charged pneumatic air rifles provide quiet accuracy for all shooting situations. Power and precision for building a lifetime of outdoor memories. A distinguished original among American-made air rifles, Benjamin has been taking you from field to woods to backyard plinking since 1899. Visit us at Crosman.com.
right, well, thank you so much for helping me understand stance and grip. Would you like to show me a little more about trigger control with your firearm?
Sure. All right, so the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna show you right-handed because I'm right-handed.
Okay.
If you've noticed, there's a tab sticking out here.
Yes.
The way you're gonna really address this tab is, the most comfortable way is to hold it here. But in fact, that's gonna put the frame of the pistol on the wrong line, and it's gonna be almost sitting in your hand the wrong way.
Okay.
So you want the trigger to basically sit across in the middle of your finger, about right here.
All right.
So what you're gonna do is when you put it into your hand, everything is gonna line up like the forearm we talked about, and when your hand comes in and your trigger finger comes on contact, you're gonna depress that tab. And what that tab is a safety, and I noticed it's on your air gun too. It's this looks like a model of a Glock 17. What that does is it's your safety like we talked about. In order to shoot, you're gonna have to depress that tab, and this gun is a little bit different than that where it has an additional safety. It's a backstrap safety.
Okay.
So to shoot, you have to depress that and this. And everything, when you have the proper grip and the proper trigger control, is it's gonna depress that and you're gonna be able to shoot.
Okay, excellent. Well, although we're not going to be shooting with the firearm today, I do have a Beretta PX4 Storm with me. So what do you say we go try some left-handed shooting?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to let you demonstrate first. So the gun is on safe.
Okay. All right, so like I talked about before, we're gonna follow the same procedures. Everything's gonna be the same. The same procedures are gonna apply if you're using an actual firearm or an air gun.
Okay.
The one thing I do wanna mention though is your breath control. As you're breathing in, your arc of movement is naturally gonna go up and down. So before we shoot, we're gonna breathe in, hold the breath, and then exhale after the shot. That alleviates the arc of movement to an extent. You're still always gonna have some being that you are breathing, but it's gonna take away some of the movement.
Okay.
All right?
And you would say about how far away are we?
This is about 15 feet. It's a good distance to start from. As you start progressing into shooting, you're gonna wanna step back. The one thing that I do wanna mention though is, being that we are at a close distance, you wanna use a 6 o'clock hold position.
Okay.
What's gonna happen is as you're shooting out further distances, the bullet is gonna drop. In this case, we're so close, it's gonna be a little bit higher than we expect it to be.
So with the air gun, it would be the same thing with the firearm?
Same exact thing.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm gonna get out of your way and let
Okay.
you take a couple shots.
All right, so I'm gonna do the same safety procedures like I talked about. Line up. Notice my stance, I'm kind of leaning into it. My knees are bent somewhat, and everything is basically cemented, so the front of the pistol is on line with my right, and both of my eyes are open. So
Okay.
when I squeeze off around, it goes right where I want it to go. And that's
Awesome.
because everything is on line. Once again. Okay,
That's awesome. You've got a nice group there.
thank you. All right.
All right, well, I guess I'll take a try now with my left hand.
Okay.
All right.
That's the stance. You just want your feet are gonna be shoulder width apart, lean into the shot a little bit, and then the frame of the pistol should be on line with your eye. Yeah.
All right, how was that?
Good, very good.
Okay.
Does that feel any different than leaning your head over?
Very different. It's especially
Yeah.
hard for me because like I said, I'm used to keeping one eye shut. So it's forcing myself to keep both open,
Right.
but it's comfortable.
Yeah, good.
It is. All right, awesome. Thank you so much for coming on
Thank
the
you.
show. And, maybe next time you can bring your Falcon.
Yes, that'd be fun.
All right, awesome.
Okay, it's time to shoot some groups on paper. We're going to be using sorted and weighed pellets versus unsorted and unweighed pellets. Let's start with the unweighed and unsorted pellets first. I'm just going to grab pellets out of the tin as if I was plinking, shoot a 5-shot group downrange. Let's see what happens. Okay, well here's our group of unweighed and unsorted pellets. Looks like to be about 1 3/4 inches if I measure the 2 outside shots there. I got 2 that went in the same hole, that was nice. Okay, let me go ahead and weigh and sort some of these JSB Jumbo Exact pellets and see if it makes a difference downrange on my targets. Okay, there's no mystery to weighing and sorting pellets. I have a small electronic grain scale here. I'll be using the JSB Jumbo Exact pellets. These should be about 16 grains or 15.8 grains. 16 grains. Put them here. Start a batch. 16 grains. Those two will go together. 16 grains. We've got 3 at 16 grains. You also want to inspect the skirts for damage. And there we have it, our fifth 16 grain pellet. I'll go ahead and inspect all of them. Make sure the skirts are in good shape. There's no debris inside of them. Okay, I have my pellets weighed. Let's see if it makes a difference downrange. Well, does a few tenths of a grain make that big of a difference in a Magnum-powered spring rifle shooting at 60 yards with iron sights bench rested? Not really. This is all the shooter's fault here. I've shot well over 300 rounds today and I'm tired. Compare it to the group I shot earlier, much better. I think we'll leave the pellet weighing to the Olympians and their match rifles. Wow. I have to say, shooting a powerful airgun like the RWS 350 Magnum at 100 yards offhand with iron sights is quite difficult. That's why I'm here practicing on the bench. Here's a tip for you as well. When using iron sights at great distances to shoot targets, put a piece of white paper or cardboard underneath your target. This way you can line up those iron sights and then move it to acquire your target. I have to say, and I've always said it, shooting powerful air guns like this one here takes a lot of practice, but I know with that practice you can have the same pinpoint accuracy that you've seen here on the show today. Meanwhile, our friends at Blue Book Publications, John Allen and Steve Fiestad, have a very special introduction to the Blue Book of Air Guns.
The Ruger Explorer is a modern-day youth air rifle that's ready to zing a pellet at speeds of up to 495 feet per second after just one stroke of its single-shot brake barrel mechanism. Its cool-looking features, like the ambidextrous vented cheek piece, fiber optic sights, and rugged composite thumbhole stock, are appealing to youth. But the Ruger Explorer has more than just good looks. The Ruger Explorer, a youth pellet rifle ready to make an impact.
At American Airgunner Television, we use all types of air guns, ammo, and accessories. That's why we depend on PyramidAir.com for the biggest selection and best prices out there. At PyramidAir.com, you'll find all your favorite brands like RWS, Crossman, Gamo, Benjamin, Air Force, and many others. Shop online or call the number on your screen for fast, friendly service. PyramidAir.com. It's not your father's BB gun. American Airgunner is sponsored by Pyramid Air. Airguns are not just for kids anymore. Umarex, your premium airgun supplier. And these fine sponsors.
Hi, I'm Steve Fiestad.
And I'm John Allen.
Welcome to another segment of Blue Book University, seen exclusively on American Airgunner Television. John, today I'd like for you to explain a little bit on your new 8th edition, how to use this book. I know there's a lot of viewers out there that are excited about this product, and we'd like to show them how to use your new publication.
Well, inside the book, there is a section right up front about how to use this book. Each gun is going to be listed by the maker's name first, then there will be a category that'll tell you which type of gun it is, whether it's a handgun, a rifle, or a shotgun, and then each category will be followed with the model nomenclature. There's a lot of different information in here. The model name comes first. There'll be a model description following that. After the model description, there will be some cases images and values following along below it. On a lot of the guns, you'll find an NA in the pricing line. The NAs mean that there isn't a price, that it's not available, it's just not predictable. After that, if you can select the condition of the gun, which in the front we do have a color photo percentage grading system that has nice high resolution images of the guns, different styles of guns in different condition levels that'll help you explain or help you understand what the condition is.
So it's simple, John. All they have to do is find their make and model, figure out the condition factor as we've already pictured in the photo percentage grading system. They just follow the column down, they zone in on the value, and it's done.
That's it.
They got the right value for the right gun at the right time.
In most cases, if you just read the front end of the book, the middle part of the book will make all the sense in the world.
Okay, well, it's time for another one of my little experiments. I've never shot a powerful spring rifle before with a Peep sight. Peep sights, as you know, are supposedly very good for long-range shooting. I have one here manufactured by the Air Force Airgun Company. It's an accessory to their 3-position sporter class rifle, the Edge. The pellet of choice when I do long-range accuracy shooting are the JSB Jumbos. Go for that field target. Folks, I have to say it did take me a couple of tries to knock those targets down. First of all, because it's a very difficult shot. Secondly, I'm not used to using a Peep sight, but I found it did work very nicely once sighted in combination with the RWS 350 Magnum's front globe sight. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a small handy cam, put it behind the Peep sight. You'll see exactly what I saw downrange. You can see just how tiny those targets are from here. Every time you fire a spring-powered air gun, the piston inside the compression tube slams home with a tremendous amount of power, and over time it will loosen your stock screws. So before you go out for a day of shooting, make sure those stock screws are tight, because it's the #1 reason for losing accuracy in a spring-powered air gun. Also, after a day of shooting, take an all-purpose cleaner, wipe down all the wood and metal surfaces, get rid of those fingerprints and the moisture, because they will rust just like any fine firearm. Doing this every day will keep your air guns looking good for decades. Thanks for joining us on today's episode of American Airgunner. My name is Paul Capello. Until next time, shoot safe and have fun.